as well as once were, and now descend, rain true terror upon their shoulders. Halloween Haunt begins.
And hello to you, my friends. We're here at King's Dominion's Haunt. And what is it with being at former Cedar Fair parks and their haunt icons swapping roles? Last weekend I was at Dorney Park, and Hecate, their former icon for the last 3 or 4 years, was saying goodbye. And then here, Queen Majesty said deuces and was replaced by someone whose name I haven't caught yet. Now we're going to switch it up this year. We're actually going to start with Fear this time. Normally I head to like CornStalkers or something like that, or MonsterCon last year. So we're going to go counterclockwise around the park instead. And while I'm making my way over there, I was looking at the map and noticed there aren't too many differences this year. They probably revamped and did some upgrading to MonsterCon most likely. Oh, I have to go all the way around here. Just note, there's like chains and stuff across that queue entrance, so we have to go around this way. So there haven't been too many changes from what I recall. The 6 mazes are still here from last year. There's probably been some upgrades to MonsterCon, which kind of, I think, came together last minute last year from what I heard anyway. And then on top of that, because of the Six Flags merger, they tried charging $10 on top of that for access to things that guests have had access to all the years just by default with their pass, and I think that was not received the best way. But who knows, that's been a Six Flags thing for as long as I remember, but not a Cedar Fair thing, and that's where that concept is just not going over too well. And here we are, we made it to the first maze of the night, Fear. Not a lot of people honestly show up to this one. I guess they're all over at the other side of the park. So even though the names stay the same, there's usually reconfigurations and slight changes to them between each year, and that's kind of what I keep an eye out for. Hilarious time in there just because of the group I was pulsed with. There's this area, also mind you, I don't remember the heights part because it's supposed to be all these different phobias, right? I don't remember the heights section. Is that new? Please let me know if you come here regularly. Anyway, the group that I was in, it was 4 people all huddled up going around, and there was a sort of mirrory part where we went in and you're supposed to make like an S-shaped path. What they did was go like this, make like a P shape and go backwards. And me and the people in front of me just kind of stood to the side. So they went up, around this way, and then back out the way we came. They got totally lost. And one of the scare actors had to be like, no, you're going the other way. You're going the wrong way. Go the other way. And I was dying the rest of the time through there. Oh man, as I'm walking over to the next maze, the singing mushrooms are doing their thing. Ooh, it's kind of low.
I love more sincerely than old Virginia, the state where I was old. I was born, carry me back to old Virginia.
All right, it's not really all the way dark yet, so we're gonna explore this scare zone a little bit more once the sun's fully down. But I do want to check out what they've done with Black Widow Burlesque. That's usually one of my favorite shows. All right, so that was Black Widow Burlesque, a nice little sampling. And here we are with Trick or Treat. This is usually one of my favorites at this park. Let's see how it is this year. Okay, wow. Wow. I think, and I've heard this is the rumor, and I'll tell you why I think it's true, is that because there was going to be an upcharge to the mazes, they decided to put more scare actors in there to compensate for that, to be like, hey, now we're packing the scare actors into our mazes. Yeah, that is true. The first like 2 or 3 rooms, there was like 6 or 7 scare actors already, and just, it was nonstop. I would turn a corner and a witch would be right there waiting for me. What? When did this? It has to be a true rumor then. I swear. They added more scare actors to add to it so that your experience could be a little more consistent. Now, I had one really good moment and one really bad moment in there. The really good moment, a group of girls were like screaming behind me and caught up to us. And I guess a witch or something like shoved her way between them to scare them. And I turned around once I heard them screaming. When I turned around, the witch was like right there. And then, so I kind of like laughed, did a little hi to her, and turned around, like, and looked forward again. And then turned around for a second and she was gone. Really cool. The bad moment though, somebody like ripped some serious butt in there. Like it must have been like a really nasty fear fart, and whew, that lingered for a while. Okay, we have a third house to do while we're waiting for the sun to go down. Blood on the Bayou. This is typically another one of my favorites, at least when there isn't a guest pushing a stroller through the entire maze. So not bad, not bad. I think the scariest thing is the way that they do crowd management for the express, going up the exit. It just seems like a nightmare for everybody involved, especially the people working here to try to coordinate all of that. But the maze itself was, again, just like I noted in Trick or Treat, stacked with scare actors. There were multiples in some rooms, and they were interacting, yelling at us, and it was great. And a word to the wise, don't yell one of your friends' names, because the scare actors will pick up on that and use it. And a lot of times they'll overhear it in the next room and in the next room, and before you know it, a ton of scare actors have yelled your name while you're running for the exit. All right, now that night has officially fallen, it's time to head into the Cleaver Brothers Carnival, our first zone of the evening, but oh my gosh, so many strollers getting pushed through. What? And there are like a couple of sliders in here too, maybe like 5 or 6. So I'm excited to see them. Man, so I guess the backup is just at the entrance because this opened wide open. But the vibe in here is excellent. I don't know what it is with me historically loving the clown zones, but usually it's just that perfect combo of just like real silly and really scary. Oh, look at that stilt walker go. Looks so cool. All right, moving on. We are going to reach the end of the zone kind of soon. Yeah, but it looks great this year. There is this one kind of like barren and without lights type of area over here. There's just kind of that. Oh. Let's see, there's one slider out here.
Beautiful. Your dancing is beautiful.
Let's see what she does. Aw. This is an eerie ass song they're playing. Oh, here comes the stilts again. Oh my. I love this zone. They're crazy in here. But in a good way. Crazy in a good way. All right, moving on. We're going to take a little break from Los Spookies here, and we're going to check out the new show, Terror Rising. fellow bassist with glasses, I felt for the guy who was trying to do some tapping and stuff and then had to push the glasses. You're looking down, push in. It happened a bunch. Oh man, it's happened to me too. Anyway, I'll let you be the judge about terrorizing. Meanwhile, we got things to see in Jungle Expedition, mainly the next scare zone. Interesting, it's not in front of here. I wonder if they moved it because they didn't want it near like where Raptera and stuff is. But now it's kind of a little more out of the way. I think people are at least drawn to it and going to check it out.
Spirits of the night, arise! Honor our sacrifices here tonight. Spirits of the deep, awaken! Hear my supplication. Spirits of the deep, you have heard my prayers!
Oh, it's been answered. Uh-oh. What does that mean for the rest of us?
The pit is perfect this evening.
The pit? Where's the pit? Oh, man. It literally is just that pit. So is this, I guess, Site X? That I didn't see any animals, though. Nope. It's still... Oh, man. It's getting super foggy in here. All right. I think it's time to go. But they definitely changed up the themes and stuff in here. Gone are like the animals and bug theming and the transformations and such. So I had heard rumors that Jungle X wasn't even going to be coming back, so I'm honestly surprised that it's here. I thought it was gone. And I guess that when they moved it over there, they kind of didn't have a plan for like doing the makeup and bringing that stuff back, because in previous years they were using like insects and animals, and the characters, scare actors, were being kind of morphed or in some sort of stage of metamorphosis into those animals, and it was really cool. Here it seems more like they got afflicted by some like toxic goo or something. I don't know, it feels like what I said, like they maybe had plans or intended to not have that, and then the upcharge stuff came, which they announced not too long ago, I think in August, early August or something, and so they had to get something out over this way as well. That's my theory. Let me know what you think. Time to head through the new scare zone of this year, the Catacombs. Ooh, it's dark in here. Hold on. Let's sneak a little more light. Uh-oh. Is this supposed to be another like rave type of thing? Man, if I had a nickel for every rave themed thing, like house or zone I've been through this year, I'd have 3 nickels. Oop. Oh, the party's more up ahead in the middle. Ooh, it's dark in here. Interesting. Hey, are they vampires, I guess? I'm really not sure. So, like, the majority of it is in this space, but it's kind of dead right now. Forgive the pun. Kind of walking a little faster right now. There's some fun little posters here, French style. The props are solid. Man, I feel like when it was a graveyard, the lack of energy complemented it. But now that they're trying to make it a more lively area, the lack of energy is kind of going against it. All right, next up is Masquerade, and to my surprise, it looks much, much brighter than usual. Uh-oh. Drama right from the onset.
And you're a bit underdressed.
Oh no. How embarrassing. I'm underdressed. Oh. I remember this being like the weird little rave rather than the epic choral music. Yeah, I remember like the lights were like pulsy and stuff. Let's see where this goes though. It's a little hectic with lots of families stopped in the walkways and stuff. Interesting little zone. I do like the fact that they have to like make the guests are basically forced to go through there and stuff. That's a nice vibe. It just gets a little chaotic navigating through it between the fog, not knowing if people are coming at you, going like around props and stuff. It's a little chaotic. And just past Masquerade, I think we're gonna head into Grimmwoods, which it looks like they rerouted things because I don't remember going through here last, or maybe we did and I completely forgot. But yeah, we go through the store. The store has been emptied. Interesting. I really forgot how tough crowd flow was through Grimmwoods. That took a lot longer than I expected it would, just because it's the exits and stuff like that get really backed up, and so did the entrance. But my run was kind of marred by just a group that, I don't know what it is about outdoor mazes that just bring out the worst in people, but the group that I was pulsed with was like shaking the trees, yelling at the scare actors, looking inside every one of the little houses that were in the path, and it was just the most obnoxious thing to see. Like, I actually went around them eventually, and I had a much better time. And also, I kind of warned, maybe I shouldn't have done this, but I warned the characters, hey, there's a really obnoxious group behind me. And I did what I did, and I have no regrets. All right, let's go through Pumpkin Eater. This is the second, and only the second zone in the park that has sliders. Man, it's darker in here than I remember. I remember there used to be some light around here.
Waiting for you.
It's late for me. What? I didn't know I was on a schedule or something. Oh, they have stilts in here, huh? And they got beer. Stilts, sliders, and beer.
Watch your back. And your front.
Jeez. There's a lot going on in here for it being so dark. Oh my gosh. So much happening here. Hey, look, there's a little light here. Wow. Dang. So I don't know what they were doing differently in Pumpkin Eater, but that had a completely different spooky vibe. But it was also much darker than I remembered. But we are approaching now the second to last house we'll be doing tonight, which is MonsterCon. I thought this one kind of felt a little thrown together last year, so I'm hoping now, a year later, they've kind of plussed it up and stuff. Now, if I had an award to give out for most improved house, or maze, whatever you want to call it, MonsterCon. Oh my God, it was so much better. Maybe it had to do with them putting in way more scare actors and stuff, but the scenes and stuff were way better than they were from what I recall. Just a lot of these moments, chef kiss, interaction moments. Mind you, because it was a short line, I ended up going pretty much by myself, and it just made all the difference. But yeah, they were killing it in there. Great timing, great spots for like their scares, so setups and stuff. Most of the scenes were pretty solid too. I think that one probably best in the park right now, in my opinion. It's so funny to me how like peaceful this area is after all the chaos in the scare zones and in the mazes and stuff. But we have one more to go, and it's just up this way. And here we are at the last maze of the night, CornStalkers Blood Harvest. Well, my goodness, I felt my sinuses starting to like go crazy in there around all the corn and stuff. But the interactions in there were pretty excellent. A couple of the costumes really threw me off. They looked like they had already been victims, which typically they're the ones like they want to grind you up and turn you into a meal or something. But no, there were a couple victims, which I don't typically see. And then there was a great little bungee guy that was saying the most out-of-pocket things, or like random phrases and noises that just had everybody dying on the way out. But then that like left people kind of vulnerable for the last scare. It was really good. And I guess with that, we have officially seen it all here at King's Dominion. It's a pretty solid year. I don't know how people are going to respond to that upcharge maze stuff, but otherwise, like, there's a bit of entertainment. The scare zones are fun. The mazes have so many more scare actors than I've seen in the previous years. There is a bunch of alcohol and like food and stuff that I don't typically get to experience, just because I had open heart surgery, so I don't get to drink too much. Maybe one, and I'll be done, and it would be a very different vlog. So anyway, I had a ton of fun here tonight. Thank you to all the performers, the ushers, and everybody else involved that makes this event possible. I appreciate every one of you, and also thank you at home for watching. I'll see you next time.
Hi, my name is Jace.
Hi, my name is Tashawn,
And we're making our own adventure.